So can you tell us about your work in this space, working at ecologiQ and on Recycle First?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, sure. So ecologiQ is a government initiative. Its goal is to optimise the use of recycled, repurposed and reused materials in all major transport infrastructure in Victoria. We sort of do that through a policy called the Recycled First policy, which is a government policy that is enacted in all major transport infrastructure projects. It mandates contractors to actually go ahead and do that and actually achieve the best outcomes they can with recycled materials. So it's a piece of policy that provides the leverage to start the ball rolling, I guess, in how we can optimise that.
How have you embedded circular procurement principles across different levels of government?
So we work directly with the contractor and with the state government project team to create a recycled first plan for every project. We do that through providing them with the resources and the knowledge of what's possible and what's permissible through standards and specifications, and we require them to then design a plan which they then are committed to and have to report on on a regular sort of basis. We also work very closely with the supply industry, so we find emerging suppliers of materials and products that really come from non-standard type construction materials, things like plastics or rubber or textiles or what have you, and we bring them to market by actually introducing them to contractors. And we work very closely then to sort of work in the whole of stakeholder environment to actually get products like that approved, either through validation trials or through standards and specs changes, so that those products are then available for use. And then we work with that entire market to actually create the education and awareness to make it possible. We take the suppliers and we work with them to get their product approved and to find the appropriate uses for them, but mostly we just bring them together with the market and introduce them to contractors, introduce them to the government, and find a way and a pathway for them to potentially find their way onto our projects.
Can you talk us through an example where a circular outcome was enabled through procurement?
Yeah, sure. So most recently we've been able to achieve an outcome where we've taken aggregates made from soft plastics and have them put into a concrete curb and channel on one of our major projects. So this has been an amazing achievement really when you think about how concrete is traditionally made with quarry rock and with cement. So we've found a supplier who is manufacturing aggregates out of waste soft plastic, which is one of the most problematic waste there is in the market. And we've been able to pair them up with a contractor. They met through one of our speed dating type environments that we have online, and they had a bit of a chat about it. They worked their way towards a solution and have come up with this particular concrete product, which we then had to go through the standards and specification approvals process, and now we're finding that about 10% of the aggregate going into this particular application, and it's a non-structural application, so a pretty safe application, is now underway on that particular big build project, and is actually spreading to other projects right now.
So what have been the key lessons learnt in your work trying to enable changes in procurement towards recycled and circular products and materials?
So key lessons to me are really about taking this very intentional approach. Just putting a policy there, it'll be a tick on the wall if you just leave it there. You need an intentional organisational approach to this. I think that's the first thing. The second thing is then you build a coalition of the willing, right? So there are people who will be forced into it, there are people who are putting their hands to do it, and you need to engage the entire stakeholder group to create that coalition of the willing. You need suppliers, you need manufacturers, you need people who have standards and specifications in their bailiwick, you need contractors, you need government agencies, and you need contractors all together, all pulling towards that there. So for me, the lessons are probably about the principle of saying yes, we're intentional about this, and yes, everybody's involved, and then the solutions will come.